Hi! This is part 2 of me learning how to make a Irish crochet lace coat inspired by a viral video that went around on TikTok earlier this year. This is a big project and I'm taking you along with me. Let's go! Hello, how it's been? It's been a couple of weeks and I'd like to apologize. A couple of weeks ago, I kind of decided to make that crochet dress inspired by Taylor Swift. So it shook my schedule a little bit and I like to apologize. But this is part 2. If you don't know what we're talking about, in the beginning of this year, a creator slash artist, Lucy Lace, went viral with her Irish crochet coats. I'll show you a video of her work right here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When this went viral, a lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people who crochet were like, what is this? Is this crochet? Is this some other thing? Like, I've never seen this before. It looks like lace. And I decided to make a coat slash jacket inspired by this one for myself. I'm making it for myself. It's not to sell. I just really wanted to learn and explore this beautiful art that is this kind of crochet that looks like lace a little bit. And this is what this video series are. The videos were filmed back in February. I just had a little bit of trouble with the editing and things happening in my life, but the coat exists and it's beautiful. I cannot wait to show you, but let's go through the process. The original coat by Lucy Lace uses Irish lace crochet as well as I think a few freeform lace crochet making. It is very personal to their brand and it's so beautiful, such a style that they created for themselves. And by the way, speaking of Lucy Lace, I did a little bit of a mistake on my last video. I didn't really know where they were from because I couldn't understand the captions of their posts, and I just copied it and put it on Google Translate and it translated to Russian, so I assumed they were Russian, and that's so wrong. They are from Ukraine. The company is a mother and daughter duo and they live in Poland. So they do ship these beautiful creations worldwide. So if you want to get one of these and you don't want to go through trouble of crocheting for a whole month to make one of these for yourself, you can buy from them. And I talked a little bit more about their art in the last video where I started this project. I'm sorry for the mistake, but thank you for everyone who informed me in the last video. In the last video, I learned what Irish crochet lace was. I learned a little bit about the history of it and all of the parts of the crochet, the motifs, the padding, and the grounding, as well as I started making my own motifs and learning with other creators, mostly through YouTube tutorials. I do have a file that I compile all of the tutorials that I used, and I would have it linked, first link in the description if you want to make a similar jacket. Right now, let's go back to February for when I was doing this jacket, and I started working on the pattern. I learned how to Irish crochet, and now I have to come up with something to Irish crochet, like a shape to fill with my Irish crochets. So that is what I'm about to do. So now that I know the technique, I need a pattern. So for most regular crochet projects, we make the pattern as we go. We can measure it in an existing pattern. We can measure it on ourselves. But with this for me, nice. I need a moment. We need to have a pattern and make the motifs and put them inside the pattern and then join them. It's the same way that we make a fabric pattern, but instead of cutting the piece, we're like making it in the pattern. So I'm going to draft a pattern for the kind of coat that I want to do. And this piece of craft paper is basically a prop. It has a pattern on it, and I don't have pattern paper, so I will need to glue printer paper together to make my pattern. I don't really want to do a long coat like our inspiration because I really don't need that gigantic kind of coat. I don't experience winter like that. I want to do a short jacket. I don't want to do it too tight fitting. I want to make it kind of not baggy, but not tight fitting either. And I want the closure to be like one of these button things, and to close it with a loop outside of the jacket. So basically I don't need any overlapping of the front pieces. I just need to make them join right here. And the one thing that I'm still not sure about is if I should do a hood or a little Peter Pan color. I've seen both in Lucy's designs and they both look really nice. I don't really have anything with a hood on it. And I've never really felt like I needed a hood, but it looks really nice with a hood. I had this idea on my mind. I wanted like a small jacket, short jacket, and I took the measurements of my body. I got my hip, my waist, my bust, and a few arm measurements as well as the length. I drafted a little pattern with my measurements. Now I always draft patterns and I just either get it from like random pattern books or like the internet and stuff like that. I can't really remember for sure which pattern I use. I have on screen like a little drawing so that maybe if you're making this you can fill it up with your measurements. I use centimeters, by the way. I don't know how to use inches. If you use inches, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is like the general shape of a jacket, blazer-like situation. I have decided that I will go for the hood. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I think it'll be interesting to have a hooded coat. Oh yeah, I did decide to do the hood and I did use a YouTube tutorial to draft my hood pattern. It's from Pattern Studio 101. I'll link it down below if you want to put a hood in your jacket / blazer. Okay, half of the back, half of the front, sleeves, hood. They all have seam allowance, which I don't think is needed for the final garment because you can trace the outline of the pattern with the motifs, and then when we join front and back and side and shoulder, we can just do this and stitch. So there is no need for a seam allowance usually with this kind of project. However, I'm doing a mock-up. I am, because I don't want to waste time doing a lot of crochet little motifs and then do like a random pattern that doesn't fit me. I'm not a lover of mock-ups, but for this instance, I really want to do one. Actually, I do have a lot of fabric that I just have bought throughout the year. If you come with me, which I'm forcing you to, it's a bit messy, so I apologize for the mess. This fabric may or may not have been in my fabric pile for over 10 years. I don't know what the original plan was, but I think I might just have enough to do this pattern. It's practically free at this point because I bought it ages ago. This one is more like 8 years old. It's also been used. I don't know why I bought so much, but I can use it as a mock-up fabric now. I'm really tired, so I will continue this tomorrow morning.
Several days later.
Don't you just hate when your real life does not allow time for your very specific and time-consuming hobbies? How rude. Anyway, let's mock this up, shall we? Along the years, I learned that in good pattern making, that sleeves, you kind of sure it's like slash ruffle it a little bit here so that they go down because our body is three-dimensional, right? And it's kind of a practice that I always do whenever I do sleeves. I ruffle them a little bit here. Considering that the fabric that we're going to be creating, it's very thick and large and just like a bulky fabric, I would kind of skip that, find a way around it for the sleeve. It didn't really give me too much trouble, but it did require a little bit of fiddling with the final piece for the sleeve when I did it. So I would kind of skip that little ruffle bit if I was to remake it. Here's what's happening. If you look at the sleeves, I have two different sleeves. When I was doing this one, I ran out of bobbin thread and I didn't notice, so I went all the way and I was trying it and it was open. But I looked at it open and I was like, I kind of like the flared vibe. So I did a triangle panel to test it out. Here we have the hood. So for the hood, I kind of think I made it too pointy. So I will probably take out like this amount. Apart from that, I really like the way that it falls. I really like the overall fitting. It's not big, it's just like slightly big so that I can wear something underneath, and I will be putting the button here on the bottom. I just have to decide if I'm going for the flared sleeve or the not flared sleeve. I think I should make it a little bit longer because if I like see like it's a little bit short, maybe I'll make it like 2 centimeters longer. Whatever motifs I use on the sleeve, I'll just let them go beyond the line. If you have a jacket blazer that fits very well on yourself, you can kind of use that as a pattern. You can lay it flat on the floor or on the table and trace around it. Although I'm making an effort to go through drafting a pattern and making a mock-up, this technique that we're using, it allows for imperfect pattern because of the nature of the fabric that we're creating. It moves, it stretches, it's not perfect. If you're making this, you can trace a garment that you already have, but it's good to know that it fits you prior to starting the whole process of making the motifs and filling out the forms and things like that. Okay, so let's finally start the final thing. And let me show you the yarn that I plan on using. Look at it. It's quite thick, and I'm not usually a thick yarn girly, but for this project I'm allowing myself. This is a bamboo acrylic cotton blend, and it's the softest thing I've ever touched. I went on my local yarn shop, I told the girls what I was going for, and they know me. And listen, they're really nice. They're often helping me out with my choices, and they're usually like, don't buy this, it's too expensive, because where I live the craft supply shop is a little bit more expensive. So they're like, don't buy this here, don't buy this there. They're girls. They're craft girls. They tell me how it is. And I showed them what I had in mind. I told them I want this, I want to make it short. And they were like, and I was like, expensive. And they were like, I know, but... And I was like, can I just do it with a normal cord? Because I'm used to doing cotton like the one that I was using for the mock-up. And they were like, no, you're not going to do that in a cotton cord. So I splurged on the fancy bamboo cotton acrylic yarn. And I know that acrylic is not usually fancy, but it's a blend and it's really soft. I have 4 skeins. Let's hope the 4 skeins are enough. I'm assuming I might need more than 4 skeins. It's just like a preference thing. I can't make this coat with 4 skeins because it's motifs. So if I can just do 3 skeins worth of motifs, fill the patterns with the motifs that I have, and then just like fill the gaps with the rest of the yarn. You know what I mean? But I might need to find another skein. The thing is, they only had 4 skeins. If they had more, I would have bought more. Look at this very groundbreaking design choice. I feel like every single yarn brand that sells in skeins should do this. Something about that UC pull, the like not being able to find the end of the yarn is just so annoying. And look at this. They made it so easy. Literally says easy pull because it's easy. That's all it took. It came like this. So this is where my creativity can run wild, baby. I could do everything. I could do just flowers, just circles, do whatever. I personally really like the circles. I think they look really nice, and I think they can be really, really good as an overall thing that brings the jacket or like the coat together. Because I feel like I don't want to do only one kind of flower. I want to do a few different flowers. It can look a bit disjointed. So I feel like if I use a lot of circles, circular motifs, it will kind of bring them all together. Also, I want to do the pointy flowers, and I feel like it will be a nice contrast, like having the pointy flowers with the picot ends and some leaves with the circular motifs in between them or to join them. So I kind of want to do one full skein of just circles, various sizes. Then I will use my second and my third skein to start working on the flowers and leaves. I think that's my plan. This yarn requires a 5mm hook minimum. So all my motifs will be a bit bigger than these ones. And these ones are already quite big. Oh, right. I have a circle. I did have a little bit of an issue a couple times, like with the yarn splitting. This yarn is very loosely spun. So I'm a bit scared that that's going to be a little bit of an issue for me. But I have it, a circle. And I want to remember that a lot of the Irish crochet that I saw had that like decorative motif in them. That basically you do single crochet, but you go around in the opposite way that you're supposed to crochet normally. And I found that really hard. That was really annoying for me, and I don't want to be annoyed. This one that I'm talking about. I don't want to be annoyed. I want this to be a blissful kind of like, yeah, it will take time, but I can just do it, watching TV, watching something on YouTube. I don't want it to be hard for myself. When I was trying to figure out the spiral motif that I just kind of didn't manage to figure out, I saw a tutorial by Elena, and she did this spiral here. Can you see? It has a very similar, in my opinion, decorative motif, and Elena's one is not the way back. It's actually a slip stitch and then a chain. Slip stitch, chain. And that is a lot easier for me. So I will try that right now and see if I like it on the circle. Okay. I think it looks really beautiful. What do you think? Maybe it's just, I don't know. But can you see, this is the original one, and this is the one with the other technique, the slip stitch chain one. I think they look pretty similar. It is not the same thing, but I like this one, and it's easier on my hand. So I'll just do it. I like how this looks. It has this like gold hue. I bought it as like beige. It does feel like very goldy, very gold-like. I like that it's light. Of course, I will have to wash it more because it's light, but at the same time, it shows a lot, like the crochet, the texture. First circle of many to come. I'm actually really tired, so I'll continue this tomorrow. See you in a sec.
The next day.
Good morning. Welcome to a day dedicated to circles.
3 days later.
So it did take me a little longer than I previously expected it to. This is one skein of yarn in circles. It is a bit worrying because I only have 4 skeins, 6 pattern pieces. I did a few different styles of the circle thingies. Let's do a little circle segment.
I love the looks my ladies give me, a little glint. I love that. I love holding my ladies. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, come with me. These are my ladies. This is Jill. This is my lady Amy. Little Susie. Brianna. You know why we call her Brianna, right? Shaniqua. Helga. Miss Kitty. Jeannie. Teresa. This is Teresa right here.
Now is that your...
Dirty girl, Leah. I'm gonna say that one more time. Leah. Oh, yeah.
I think the circles use more yarn than the flowers will. So now I will start with my second skein doing the flowers. Hi, it's me again. We'll be pausing our journey for now. I'm sorry. I think this is a good part to pause. We did our pattern and we started with our motifs for the final jacket. And I did all of these circles because I want them to be really like a space filler in the jacket. I want the bulk of the fabric to be, you know, these pretty flowers and the circles to kind of fill in the dead spaces. I want more circles and less grounding stitches. That's just what I chose to do when I was coming up with the ideas for the jacket. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. I hope you're liking the journey. I apologize for not doing it all in one video, but listen, this took me a whole month to make. We can take a month to watch it, okay? I did film a few tutorial-like videos, so the next video that will be coming up in a couple of days will be a tutorial-like video on how to make the circles. Because I did so many different ones, I'll just kind of go through all of them in case you want to like follow along and make your own. I have all the tutorials linked that I used linked in the document, but I'll also make some of my own just in case you want to follow along with me. And then on the next video after that, expect us making lots of flowers, lots and lots of flowers, and starting to make the fabric that is going to become our jacket. I don't know why I keep pointing to her. These were my test motifs that I did on the last video. Check it out if you didn't yet. I'm committed to finishing this journey quick and fast. Do not worry. I will try my best to not get sidetracked by a random project and finish this one with you guys. I really want it to be out. I love how the jacket looks. And I actually even took it on a Europe trip with me. So I have photos of my jacket in the Eiffel Tower. And you get to see that in a couple of videos. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 4-part series. So we're halfway. Okay, hopefully. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below any thoughts you had throughout the video in regards to the jacket, in regards to my practices. Do you think that the jacket's gonna look cute, or would you make it different for yourself? Anything that you comment down below will help me out with the algorithm. Consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. I'll have my social media down below as well if you want to follow, but if you don't, that's completely fine. I hope I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye bye.